we would lose our license. I remember he had on a suit, and he was talking about Papa Rage, as they call him. He was a great. He was like the Pied Piper. He could rap.
Yeah.
And he could rap, but I think he probably could put pencils to paper better than anybody that I knew.
Yeah, well, Eldridge was another inspiration for myself and the comrades. Now, I don't curse no more, but I remember, you know where South Park is here in L.A.
Yes,
yeah,
right.
It had a stage, a performing stage, where the Panthers had a Free Huey rally, as we used to call them there. And that was the first time I saw Eldridge speak. Again, this is before social media. And he was cursing. And we dug that. And, but he was also articulate, very, very articulate. And I would say Bunchy, Jamil Alamein, H. Brown, Stokely Carmichael, Kwame Ture. Those individuals. Oh, and also of all things, I never should forget this Malcolm X. So those were our influences, and I cherish that. Glad
but the thing about
I
cut you off. No, I cut you off. Sorry.
I'm glad we came along during that period. We got to meet all of them. We got to meet Jamil, Kwame Ture when we were in SNCC. And, Malcolm left his life before we actually started organizing. But those were four individuals, and Fannie Lou Hamer. Those were individuals that set it off for us, as they say.
Well, the thing about Al Prentice Buncy Carter, I used to laugh at people all the time because Al Prentice Buncy Carter would make NWA and all these young rappers. I mean, he would make them sound like Mother Teresa. I mean, Bunchy.
Yeah.
Bunchy. How they say it? Bunchy could cuss.
Yeah. Well, let me say this about Bunchy. Bunchy's back in those days. If family members went to prison, people weren't necessarily talking about that, But Bunchy's younger brother, Gregory Carter, and I went to a school here in L.A. called Charles Drew Middle School. And that's where we met. And we used to bag on each other. That means shooting on each other, playing the dozens on each other. But I never knew that he was Bunchy's brother after we met Bunchy. I never knew that until Bunchy was assassinated. But can I add something here? I hear people now talking.
You got the floor. You got the floor, sir.
Okay, I hear some people talk about the mayor, Bunchy being the mayor of L.A.
Of the ghetto. The
ghetto. I didn't hear that until social media. Maybe it's me, but I never heard that until social media. But I also would like to say, I hope I'm not jumping around, but I also would like to say when Bunchy and John were assassinated at UCLA, the argument was this was a rivalry. Bunchy wrote this was in early March 1968. Bunchy wrote a piece called The Correct Handling of Contradictions Among Black Organizations. He never was into that, you this, that, and the third. I don't remember that. And again, the so-called rivalry, if people, even though we know that COINTELPRO and the FBI were writing letters and cartoons between the two organizations, let this be said, as Bunty used to say, let this be said, let this be heard, that the night after Bunty and John were assassinated, LAPD, their special so-called intelligence squad, and the other LAPD, they raided Erica Huggins, and she had just had her daughter, right? They raided her apartment on Century and Broadway here in LA. And they arrested, I think, 12 Panthers. Now, think about that. Bunty and John were assassinated, but LAPD didn't go after the perpetrators. They came after the victims' comrades and family. The charges were eventually dropped. So again, that's so-called, there was a rivalry between us and the Black Panther Party. I remember the Black Panther Party was about organizing and dedicated to that.
Well, I knew Bunchy, and I knew Maulana Ron Karinga, a.k.a. Ronald McKinley Everett. Ron Karinga's older brother was my favorite teacher, Chef Everett. He taught us English at, Mr. Everett taught us English at middle school, junior high school, as we called it back then. And Mr. Everett was gay, and he spoke with a British accent, and everybody loved Mr. Everett because when you left Mr. Everett's class, you kind of stuck your chest out because he taught us about Phyllis Wheatley, and he had a thing for Eleanor Jaquette because he talked about jazz, he talked about poetry, and he had that British accent. We thought that was kind of strange, but Mr. Everett, like I say, I'll tell anybody straight up, Mr. Everett he put a bone in your back when you left his class. Like you would, you want to go out and stand up for not just African people in America, but African people. Period. He was a great teacher. He was a great teacher.
Okay, well, I'll leave Mr. Ron Karinga alone for today.
Oh yeah. We'll leave the comrade alone. He's supposed to be a Marxist. Well, he claimed to be a Marxist for a minute, but he says he's anti-imperialist. When you listen to that, let me say this, and I'll leave him alone. If you listen to him today, he sounds like Huey P. Newton.
Yeah, well, okay. He's a professor of the Cal State. He's the head of the Cal State Long Beach Black Studies Department. And I'll leave it alone. He went to prison too. You know that, right?
Yeah, he went to prison not for not like Henry Newton. He went to prison for torturing black women. Yeah, that's what he went to prison for. Of course, he says he's framed. He was framed, he says.
Okay, well, yeah. So then you become the head of the Black Studies Department in the Cal State system. So we'll leave it like that.
Yeah. No, I hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
And Melinda, do you have any more questions?
Yeah, I know you did mention Bunchy's sister. How was their relationship? Were they close?
Yeah, the Carter family, Carter Morris family. Again, Nola May was married twice. The Carter family were very close-knit family. I mentioned Drew Middle School. Well, their house, which was located on a street called 83rd and Hooper, it was right in the back, and I would visit Gregory. And again, they didn't mention, I have a brother that's in prison, etc., right? But I remember that they were very close-knit. Later, I was able to officially meet Nola Mae Carter in the mid-70s. She worked with Teen Post at a time that I worked with Teen Post. And so I got to meet her. And then I got to become close. I became close to the Carter Morris family, I would say around 2009. I organized, along with others, we organized a tribute to Bunty, and at a library called the Bill Brew Library, and some of the Carter family came, and we talked, and I became friends with, the cousins, some of the uncles, and one in particular, Kim Morris, who was a character, rest in peace. She was a character. I used to call her Little Gregory, Bunty's brother. Just to give you an idea of how Kim was, rest in peace. When Kim was like real sick, I went to visit her one time. It was about a week before she passed. She said, "Harold, could you go to the store? I mean, to McDonald's. I don't know if we can mention, hamburger stand." And she said, "And get me this and get me that, right? And since you don't have you have a flip phone, you need to get rid of it." So you need to get rid of it. I'm going to write it down. I said, okay. So I said, when I was leaving, I said, wait a minute, Kim, don't you think that you should get something else? I can go to a healthier restaurant and get some things. No, Dr. Welton. Go to where I asked you to go, please. She was something, man. She was strong.
Well, you black folks in America, remember, I think it was Rochelle who told you wanted, the first thing he wanted was a hamburger when they got at the joint, wasn't it?
Who is that?
But didn't Rochelle McGee tell you that the first thing he wanted was a cheeseburger or a hamburger? Yeah.
Cheeseburger.
Yes.
And I want to go to make sure y'all get the right thing. Okay, all right. We called him Rue. All right, Rue. Funny. Just to go left a little bit. It was 4 comrades and myself who got to meet Rochelle. We visited him, I think 4 times. We did not want people to know where he lived, silly us. But my first impression of Rochelle, our first impression of Rochelle was, after 67 years, this comrade, though he still had his principles, he was funny. He had us going. Funny, a great sense of humor, And I'll never forget that life's experience. He was funny.
But there's a brother. I don't want to cut you, but there's a brother up here. I won't mention his name, but his criticism of Huey P. Newton was he laughed too much.
Well, I think I might be in the same club. I think Malcolm had a great sense of humor.
It's nothing like laughing, though.
No, I think Malcolm had a great sense of humor. Malcolm X.
Oh, Malcolm, and so did Dr. King. But they say Dr. King on the stage. On stage, he was like serious as a heart attack. But behind closed doors, they say he was a real character. He was like practical jokers, and he always kept some stuff going.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if we're veering off, but Malcolm, paraphrasing him, he said, "You have these preachers running around talking about Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. As long as they've been whipping your head, they know exactly what they do." Yeah. And I think there's a place for humor in this liberation struggle.
Yeah. Jamil Al-Amin Jamil Al-Amin would keep you laughing. He'd be serious. He wouldn't laugh. That's the thing about him. And I guess a lot of comedians don't laugh at their own jokes. Rap would be so serious, but he would be so funny. But he would never. He never laughed at himself, did he?
No, but let me say this. In February, I forgot to mention, in February of 1968, I was still in high school. There was a Free Huey rally at what was called the Sports Arena. Sports Arena was where the Lakers played basketball at the time. So Jamil was a surprise speaker, because he was not allowed to leave Manhattan, New York, lower Manhattan, New York, because of his so-called conspiracy to cross state lines to incite a riot. So when he came on the stage, it was a surprise to everyone. And the first thing Jamil said was, "They tell me I only have 5 minutes to speak. Well, I figured the Lakers only burn cigarettes. We burn watch." That tore the crowd up. The way he was looking, and he used to have a way of pointing his finger, right? But that got the crowd, you know.
Yeah, but I'm gonna go further. Jamil was a great basketball player and a great quarterback.
From Louisiana.
He's from Baton Rouge. Yep, Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Yeah.
Melinda, you have any more questions? Because I think we've gone over the half an hour, but we're probably going to have. No. We can split this into. We can go as long as Lisa and Melinda. We got a few more minutes. Yeah. Okay. Question, Melinda?
Well, I was just saying, just a comment around, laughter. First of all, laughter is healing. It helps you move forward. There's a reason why we laugh, and comedy in general. There's always sort of you're kind of on the point of absurdity, right? So
right.
It's very connected. So. I don't think it's separate.
Right.
A lot of comedians, that's where they get their skill, So yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think they say that Charlie Chaplin was a great. He was very political, but he was known as one of the greatest. Charlie Chaplin was a comedian, but he was very political. That's what I'm trying to say, right?
Right. That's right.
Yeah.
So was Groucho Marx, huh?
Yeah, we used to laugh, make fun of people. We would call somebody if they were faking the funk. He was a Groucho Marxist, yeah.
Yeah.
A Groucho. He was a Groucho Marxist, or Harpo Marxist. Yeah, we would. Yeah.
Right.
And but y'all folks, you guys can be vicious. I remember that before he became a Marxist, Amiri Baraka talked about Eldridge Cleaver leaving terrible marks on the dirty linen. I said, "Woo!" Yeah. That's it. That brother, that brother was something else. I guess you have a life, my brother, and Melinda and Lisa have lives, so I guess we should let you go.
All right. Thank you, and thank you for the opportunity to talk about Al. His name is Al, period. Prentice Buncy Carter. Gregory told me that one time it's not Al Prentice, it's Al. His name is actually Al.
Prentice is his middle name.
Right. But it's Al Prentice, and we'll leave it there. But I want to say also, I love the way the show ends when you play Spiritual by John Coltrane. That gets me. I love the show, but in comes Train. Spiritual.
And Eric.
And Eric Dolphy, yeah. That used to be my medicine when I was in high school. I had to listen to. I wanted to listen to Spiritual by John Coltrane before I went to school. I love everything Train does, but yeah, that gets me.
I used to love Eric because Eric was from Los Angeles.
That's right.
And his mama was from Costa Rica and his daddy was from Panama. And but Eric was born in he went to Dorsey. Yeah, he went to Dorsey High School, and at that time Dorsey was that was on the west side. That was Eric's folks had a little bit of cash, right?
Yeah.
And you were in the projects, and we were in. I was living on 87th and Avalon.
Down the street.
Eric was right. Eric was really in living in Paradise at that particular time. That was Crenshaw, yeah.
Right.
I guess everybody talks about Crenshaw being the ghetto, but at that time, I was like damn near living in Beverly Hills, wouldn't you say?
Yeah. Sorry for going over and out, but Charlie Mingus has something in common with us. He got kicked out of Jordan and went to Jefferson High. So we all right, Norman. Again, sorry for going out.
No, you got. I'm going out because my mother and Charles Mingus' sister used to be very close.
Okay.
And my nephew and Charles Mingus' grandson was close. I was always telling my nephew that they should start a group. My nephew's name is, he married Williams, but he is a Richmond, so I would say you should start a Mingus and Richmond, and you guys can be like Danny Richmond, and you can claim Danny Richmond. You're related to Danny Richmond, and the other brother is Charles Mingus' grandson. You guys should ride on that. He would laugh all the time.
Right. Okay, well, long live John Huggins and Al Prentice Buncy Carter. Always.
As Max Roach would say, ditto.
All right. Thank you all. Appreciate you.
All right.
Okay, right.
All right. Bye. And we have been speaking with Harold Welton, formerly of SNCC and the Black Panther Party, and still active in the struggle for the liberation of Africa, Africans, and all oppressed humanity.
I took a walk one day, upon Jamaica land, sweet Jamaica land. All my senses were in tune. My ancestors were clearly in view. Grandpa, he led the way, yes. Grandma, I held her hand. And as we walked along, she pointed out to me that old hanging hanging tree. We were taken from Africa land. In shackles and chains, we work this land. Under the pain of slave masters. One day, my son, you'll be a man. Africa. Never forget where you're coming from. Africa. And as we walked along, Grandpa, he took my hand. And he showed me the place where slave master met his end. We were taken from Africa's shore. By the hands of the wicked, let them be no more. In shackles and chains, we work this your land. Under the pain of slave masters. And oh, one day, my son, you'll be a man. Africa. Never forget where you're coming from. Africa. In shackles and chains, we work this Jamaica land. Oh, under the pain of slave masters. And oh, let them be no more. Oh, let them be no more. 'Cause we were taken from African shore. By the hands of the wicked, let them be no more.
Hey, you in the light trench coat and the slouchy hat. This ain't the weather to dress like that. Every place I happen to be, I look back and you're following me. Why?
'Cause I'm a private eye.
Yes, you knock on my door every day in the week. When I get there, you're playing hide and seek. I lock my windows and I pull down the blind. You're nearly driving me out of my mind. Why?
'Cause I'm a private eye.
When I walk, you walk. If I stop, you stop. You stick to me so tight. I'm afraid to go to sleep at night. I never look upon a good romance. It's just impossible for three to dance. Every pretty girl I happen to see falls for you instead of me. Why?
'Cause I'm a private eye.
When I walk, you walk. If I stop, you stop. You stick to me so tight. I'm afraid to go to sleep at night. I never look upon a new romance. It's just impossible for three to dance. Every pretty girl I happen to see falls for you instead of me. Why?
'Cause I'm a private eye.